Hey everyone! Our staff experience team worked on a lot of really cool projects this year. Our team included myself, Rena, Hillary, Melissa, Nicole, and Michelle. We started off by having meetings every couple of weeks to help give ourselves a nice strong start because we had some really awesome topics and projects to get started on. One of the projects Melissa and I worked on was training and on building a knowledge transfer team. With some materials Marlo passed along, we were able to put together our Northern Knowledge Transfer Team, which consists of Trudy Bayless, Glenda Bennett, Gloria Carew, Darlene Hansen, Connie Randrup Wheatley, Heather Stewart, and Wendy Rochelot. The idea behind this team was to capture the knowledge from our most experienced team members and build a matrix of the key pieces of various jobs to use with newer employees to make sure they're getting the benefit of the knowledge transfer team's experience. We had a little bit of a hard start. Some of the information we were given seemed a little complicated, but we've made some great strides, and the team is still ongoing, very strong. One of the other things I worked on this year was to keep the regional JP meetings organized. So as most of you know, we meet every 2 months by teleconference. This is another method of our knowledge transfer. We discuss situations that have occurred. We get feedback from Kevin Purdy. We share all that amongst our team. It's been really invaluable for our JPs, especially the new ones. And for those of us like myself that work in smaller offices and we come across some unique situations sometimes that we're just not familiar with because we don't do it very often, the JP team has been really valuable for that. This year I also was very happy to not have to do any newsletters, but instead I worked with each member of our teams, and everybody worked on one this year, so I was able to help them learn how to put that together and send it out. Just another example of our knowledge transfer and how that came into play with our team. So Rena sent out last spring's newsletter, Nicole did the fall edition, Melissa did the winter edition in January, and Hillary wrapped it up with our spring edition. So I think we can all agree they all did really, really well. It was a lot of fun working with them, give them whatever support they needed, but to see how each one became unique with their own flair. So that was really cool. Another project Melissa and I worked together on was staffing practices and stress and workload. So that's a pretty big topic. One of the things we wanted to do was to focus on the services we already have available. We didn't need to reinvent the wheel. So some of you may have seen this poster in your offices. This beauty Melissa and I put together. Heather printed those off for us with her fancy color printer. Thank you, Heather. And we sent those out. So this poster talks a little bit about Morneau Shepell, talks about some of the services they have, short-term counseling, career support services, family support services, financial and legal services, healthy living services, everything from quitting smoking and weight loss to divorce and financial assistance, learning how to budget. We wanted everybody to know that these services are available to everyone, including auxiliaries, even those who haven't received their benefits yet if they're brand new, as well as all the family members who normally reside with those employees. I can tell you I've used it myself. Their e-counseling service is awesome. It's really nice to do a lot of that by email. So we had some contact information for Morneau Shepell, and we tried to put those up in places where employees could find it, in the washrooms, staff rooms, that sort of thing. One of the other things you may have seen, these little tent cards, that was us too. We ordered those from, I can't remember where we ordered them from, but we sent out several to every office, and this just talks a little bit about etiquette in the workplace, things like using private areas for calls, keeping workstations and shared spaces tidy. It also talks about proper ergonomics, standing and sitting, that sort of thing. We sent out some information about proper ergonomics as well. I actually did the ergonomic assessment myself. I thought I had it under control, but I didn't. So actually I found that helped my back quite a bit. So yeah, those were some of the things I worked on. We had a lot of other projects. So let's go to Hillary and she can tell you a little bit about what she worked on this year.